know what's going on up there, but these women are on fire. People, not just women, but woo, the energy's a lot, and I'm excited. I mean, you know, sometimes you go into these conferences and the energy's a little low, like, oh, hell no, you guys are rocking it. And with that being said, I had this whole kind of talk planned out, and yesterday I kept telling my team, like, I just feel really uncomfortable, none of this makes sense, and they're like, what are you talking about? Oh shit, she's gonna change everything last minute. And I did. But what I want you to know is that uncomfortable feeling that happens in our body is just an uneasiness, right? That uncomfortable feeling is a signal that something new is about to emerge. Woo, right? And if you can embrace and actually ground in and accept that uncomfortable feeling, then you will be the pathway for some new emergence. Now the point is, most of us bypass that uncomfortable feeling. And there's a favorite quote I have by Buckminster Fuller, and it says, there is nothing in the caterpillar that tells it it's going to be a butterfly. And you guys hear that? There is nothing in the caterpillar that tells it it's going to be a butterfly. The only thing the caterpillar has is an uncomfortable feeling, right? It has no idea what's beyond that. So that's what happened to me yesterday. I said, something is emerging, people, and I do feel like I'm emerging and I'm rebirthing myself out into some newness in the world. But then I also started tuning into this high vibe, amazing group. And what I realized was, you know what? I have hundreds of startup people here. What would I have wanted to know when I started my business 12 years ago? Yesterday or day before was Poopery's 12-year birthday, by the way. Yeah. And I've learned a lot. And we're successful and we've made a lot. I know that what I'm going to share with you today, you can do it in probably a quarter of the time, because I was learning the whole damn way, right? And you can do it better. Things are faster now. So what I know is if you have this uncomfortable feeling in you and you feel like something's going to break out, what I want to know is, can you embrace that? And can you stand on a stage in front of hundreds of people going, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to say. I haven't planned any of this, but we're going to see what's going to happen. So are you guys willing to take a journey with me that I've never even been on before? Are you really ready? Okay. So the first thing, this is shit I wanted you to know. I guess you saw that earlier. So the first thing is, ideas are alive. So a few years ago, one of my friends, Nick Askew, comes to me and he says, I want to make a film about you. And I said, okay, what do you want to make it about? And he goes, I don't know. I said, let's not make it about success, because that's boring. He's like, yeah. He goes, how do you know which idea to follow? And I said, well, there's this, like leaning in, I'm trying to describe to him. And he says, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, yeah, me either. We sat on the phone for like an hour and a half. I was trying to tell him what's going on. So what I decided to do is come back into our company, into Poopery, and I decided to start kind of studying, like, how do we know what works and what doesn't? It seems that we have some magic formula that I don't even think we're aware of. So I started realizing that the ideas we were excited about and turned us on seemed to work. And the ideas that we created with our strategic mind seemed to not work so well. And I didn't know why. Like, are we just stupid? Are we just not smart people? I don't know. So I called Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's a cellular biologist. And I said, I have a theory that ideas are alive. And he said, why do you ask that? And I said, well, because, you know, whenever we have an alive idea, it seems like it just keeps going and it seems resilient and we can make mistakes and it's all okay. But whenever we plan something or do it because the world says we should do it, it doesn't always work out. And he said, that's a great question. And you're right, ideas are alive. Everything is vibration. So do y'all understand that? What I felt when I walked into this room today was all of you vibrating. And dude, it is high. Like, I would say this is probably one of the highest vibe groups I've been in. And what that tells me is if you can carry that vibration into the world, like, oh my God, you got this thing. But anyway, so then he starts telling me about resonance and dissonance. We're going to go into a little physics. He says resonance is when, he says physics may explain this. Resonance is when you put two energy waves together and they're traveling at the same speed and the same wavelength. Those two together create more energy than they do apart. Did y'all hear that? Those two together create more energy than they even do alone. Gosh. Then he says dissonance is when you put two energy waves together that are not on the same vibration. You put those two together, it creates less energy than they had apart. So that's why when people say, this job's killing me, this person's draining me, it's actually true. You literally have less life force energy than you did before. So one of the things that this reminded me of, I said, oh my God, I'll never forget when the idea for Poopery came about. My ex-husband's here and some of my family. We were at a Thanksgiving dinner party. And my brother-in-law says, can bathroom odor be trapped? And I remember, like, it was literally like a zing. Like, I had to chill up my arm, and I kind of stood up straight. And I was like, I can do that with oils. He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. Like, everything I didn't know. But what I knew was something zinged me, right? It's like something went like, oh my God, like I can do this. Now, it took me a year to do that. But I didn't press towards the idea. I didn't even want a company. I'd been on a spiritual sabbatical for 4 years after my second bankruptcy. I wasn't interested in another company. Like, I had sworn off business, but something lit me up. And I was researching and studying and mixing and going and asking all my friends and family when they come over, like, do you got to poop? They're like, what? Okay, let me tell you, nobody thought this was a good idea. Nobody, even my ex-husband, he'd be like, oh, yeah, here's your tester. He was like, oh, God. So that's another thing. When you are resonant with an alive idea, does not matter what the outside world says, right? Because I am turned on, and I'm just going to keep going towards that. So one day, finally, after 9 months of mixing, my ex-husband comes out of the bathroom, and he's holding it. He was my husband at the time. And he says, oh, my God, we're going to be millionaires. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, do you realize what you've done? You've taken the smell out of shit. Like, it was shocking to me, right? Shocking, like, what do you mean? So then what happened is I realized that I'm getting ready to birth this thing, which goes to our next slide. That your business is a living, dynamic organism. So imagine being turned on by this idea that everybody thought was crazy. Everybody. My neighbors would come in and I would say, what are you doing? I was like, tell them, they go, like everybody would do this kind of awkward walk away, like, ooh, like, I don't even think we need to, no more questions. But look what happened. All of a sudden, it took the smell out of shit. And I'm thinking, I gotta share this with the world. I literally felt like I had just birthed some miracle. So I started mixing bottles, I started doing things, but what happens is that idea is alive. Do you remember the idea with me created more energy than I had alone? All I did was like, okay, I've got to put this into the world. I want to share it, just like you do when you have a child. You're like, look, he's so cute. Are you kidding me? Doesn't matter if some people go, ooh, right? Might not want to take those newborn pictures. You know, it didn't matter. All the people that rejected me, you know, I ran sometimes and cried and hid, but everything in me kept going, just show the world, just show the world, just show the world your new baby. And this is what I believe, that your business is like a child and you ask it every single day, what do you want to be? Like, I've never had a business plan. I know probably every MBA student and whatever is going to murder me right now. But the reason is like, how do you have a business plan for a child? You know, they pick up those drumsticks, and you're like, he's a drummer! Then all of a sudden he throws those down, he goes over, he kicks the ball, you're like, he's a soccer player! Any of you that's birthed a child or witnessed a child growing up, that's what every parent does. So that's what I did over the years of Poopery, kind of like, hold on, what is Poopery? What does she want in the world? And I'll talk a little bit about that, how that's the birth of a brand. But, yeah, let's see where I'm at now. Yeah, so this is how great brands are born. A lot of people go out in marketing, and I've never had any marketing training, so, you know, you take it or leave it. But what happened is most people go, what's the core demographic you're trying to reach? I think that's completely backwards. Okay, I think it is, what is the unique, special, amazing ability that this living dynamic organism has to offer the world? And if we focus on that and just sharing that and always asking it and resonating with it and kind of going, oh, they didn't like that, that didn't work. Oh yeah, they love that, let's go. That's how you create a great brand. Now I want y'all to know, people don't say Poopery is a great product, which it is. They say, oh my God, your brand. We have brand love that's very unusual for a consumer goods product. The reason they love it is because we know that she's alive. And we ask ourselves all the time, what would Poopery do? Would she do that? Would she not do that? Yeah? Right? Like, that's easy. There's your company. Would she do it? If she wouldn't do it, just stop it. Right? You know that you're not going to put your child that's in ballet into football if they don't want football. You just go, that's a no. He didn't like football. Okay, I don't care what the outside world says that all boys need to play football. My son likes ballet. So we're going to drive in and focus on ballet. And that's how you create an epic brand in the world that is a living, dynamic company, not just a product. So I'd ask yourself right now if you have a product or do you have a living brand? And what is it? What are those unique qualities of your living brand? So I want you to know that. I didn't know that early on. I mean, I kind of knew it. Okay. The third thing is trust your gut. Everybody says this. Most of us don't do it. Sometimes I don't do it. It's a practice. But remember Dr. Lipton, he told me something else. He said, every living thing is seeking more life force energy. So every living thing is seeking life force energy. So this is what's fun. Do you remember how I said two energy waves that are traveling at the same speed and the same width? Are you guys still following me here? Yeah. Okay. So do you remember how I said they're the same? Do you remember the word same? What that means is that you are the vibration in which that idea came to partner with. Does that make sense? Yeah. It would not have chosen you if you didn't have everything inside of you to create that. Because it's seeking more life force energy. So any idea you have, you can absolutely birth it into the world. Because it is resonant with you and resonant with you uniquely. Now, you know, Elizabeth Gilbert says if you don't do that, if you choose not to, it'll go find someone else. Because it's seeking life force energy, which is fine, you know. Some things we decide not to birth. But anyway, so when you think about that, think about how when somebody says, I don't know what to do with the business, right? I need to go get all these consultants. I need advice. I need to know what to do. It's like, hold on. I must know what to do. Because this idea came to me because I am a matching vibration. It knew that I can keep it alive. So I can go outside and I can seek external advice, but I'm always going to pull back in and see how that feels to me. Right? What we do, what I see a lot of business people do, is we run around and we're getting advice and advice and advice, and we're wanting somebody to tell us what to do. And we're not standing in the power like I conceived. I'm gonna cuss. This motherfucking idea. Right? Like, that's the truth. It came to me. So I have to be the expert here. I know y'all can all pray for me later. But it came to me. So I am deeming myself as the expert. When people come in and tell me what poopery needs to do, and anybody on our poopery team, you sort of osmosis into they're all the parents now. But it's like, oh no, you can't tell us. You can give us ideas, but we're going to tune in to our intuition, and we're going to see what feels right for our child, right? It doesn't mean that we're rejecting you or whatever. Thank you for your idea. But the point is, I know what's best because I conceived this thing. So I want you guys to really do that. Now, with that being said, what happens to our intuition? We're all born with it. You see dogs, children, you see babies. Oh, give them a kiss. Yeah, don't do that, okay? They're telling you something's not right. This isn't a good vibration with me here. So we are conditioned out of that. And I'm not saying it's malicious or whatever, but, we tell people, oh, don't worry about that feeling in your belly. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't be scared. Don't be angry. Don't be sad. So we get conditioned and we put up blocks to not feel. Whenever we don't feel, we lose access to all of that natural, what I call our internal GPS. God gave us this directional device. That's the truth. Like, God gave it to you. You are programmed, all of this right here. You have everything within you to know exactly what to do at any moment. The question is, are you going to spend your focus on trying to make money or trying to remove those blocks that are keeping you from your own power and your own aliveness? Right? Because that's a big question. Because we know the blocks are there, but are we going to stand up and go, okay, I'm going to go through that shit that second grade teacher told me, and I'm going to see what's in there. And what's going to happen is you're going to emerge slowly with more and more and more of yourself. And that is the strongest tool that you will ever use. And I say this, and I say it with another cuss word, and it is better than any fucking mentor in the world. That's the truth. And it is from inside of you. Like, feel that. Own it right now. Like, right there. God gave it to you. It's there. Are you going to activate it? Are you going to keep running around acting like you're powerless? You got a choice. So whatever. But I wish I would have known. Trust that shit a lot more. Okay. I didn't know I was going to be preaching today. Okay. So this comes to the next segment. Think less and feel more. Our society has a problem of thinking. We are mental masturbators. It's true. I have a problem. What do I do? I need more information, right? That's what we do. Society tells us, develop this. What they haven't told us is to develop this. So what happens is we are a disconnected society. I walk up to you and I can't see you because I've got all this shit in my head going, oh my God, does she think I'm okay? Does she think I'm talking okay right now? Like, that's all going. It's even going right now. I look out there and go, well, I don't know if this is being received. Shit. But that's not what I'm committed to. I'm committed to all this amazing energy that you guys infused me with before I got on this stage. I'm like, okay, whatever all that is, what I'm going to honor is this feeling in my body that's alive. What I wish I would have known, and it's hard for me to say this because I've been successful, really, really successful. So y'all are like, oh, well, yeah, she's successful. I am, but it was brutal, right? There's been some brutal times. And a lot of it was because I didn't learn fast enough, right? I kept getting my head whacked and whacked and whacked until it had to be bigger. I'll tell you a story in a little bit about how, last year I lost millions of dollars. That was really not needed if I would have tuned in. So while I'm preaching to you, I want you to know it's a practice. It's like a yoga move, right? It's a practice. If we were all masters, we'd just be walking around going, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're feeling. But it's a practice to slowly start opening that up to ourselves. So one thing that we do, when I say think less and feel more, that we've started doing as a company, and I don't know if any Poopery executives are here. Are y'all here? I saw Nicole. We got a couple, Dawn back there. We have a coach, his name's Brandon Hawk. And we as executives are sitting around the table. We are telling each other radical honesty. I mean like this kind of stuff, like Suzy, you know what you do? You put down that wall and then you bully us. Oh, I do? Yeah, that's what you do. Like, fuck, that hurts. Okay, we're doing that, but then we're also feeling. I feel angry. I feel sad. There's lots of tears. There's screaming going on. And our president, Dawn, she's back there. She said the other day, this is the way executive meetings will be ran in 20 years. Yeah. Right? It's going to be off feeling. Because what we know is this thinking isn't working. Let me tell you some proof points why it's not working. Because we're killing our earth. We're making decisions for money that we shouldn't be making. And if we stopped for 1 second and said, how does this feel? Right? We wouldn't be doing most of that shit. We would say, this doesn't feel good. This guy comes or woman to give you a proposal and everything your body's screaming no, but you know they can make them a lot of money? If you were committed to feeling, you'd say, I love you. She goes, no. I'm like, exactly. I have a no to this. Well, you know how many people want this information? The whole world may want it. But you know what? I have a no. That's what we would be doing if we actually stopped and felt more. So last year, this millions of dollars, we had an auto unit. And there was competition coming out. And they put an auto unit. I'm like, shit, we got to get an auto unit. So we all get in this manic action. We got to get an auto unit. We sent our poor COO over to China. And so he kept calling us and he'd say, I don't think we're going to be able to make that delivery. And we're like, we got to make the delivery. We got to make it, like competition's around the corner. We got to make the delivery. So I'm telling you, I fall into this too. If we would have stopped for a second and said, how does this feel that we might not make this deadline, that the product might be faulty, right? We bypassed all of this information because we wanted the money because we were scared. Instead of sitting there and going, I feel scared. I feel like competition's coming, they're going to take us over. If I would have felt that for a minute, I could have got back into my body and said, oh, hold on. What are we doing? Why are we running around like chickens with our heads cut off? Needless to say, it took us months of energy, millions of dollars we lost on it. And it's not the money, it's the amount of energy, time, and effort that we put towards that we could have been putting towards an alive idea that actually would have progressed us further. So that's the point of think less and feel more. And I'll show you on the next slide. Let's go back to what Dr. Lipton said. I don't know if you can see this because of the balloons. Can you see it? So resonance, let's go back to dissonance. This is where we're at when we're thinking. We're literally cut off from the neck up. It's only mental energy. We don't have any access to our whole body. This is protection mode. We got to play it safe. That's where we were with this, right? Like, oh shit, protect, do this crazy stuff. Anyway, it ends up that product, the competitor's product did launch and it was crap, literally. So it wasn't even a threat. Oh, anyway. Tension, heavy, there wasn't enough time. When you start being panicked for time and energy, like, oh my God, that's a red flag. Hold on, what's going on here? Where am I at? Okay, when you feel this cerebral hell, when your mind, you lay down in bed and your mind's going, do. Go, what am I avoiding feeling here? Oh shit, I feel scared. Okay, and what would happen if we just tuned into feeling scared? And this is where it led me all to bankruptcy. It always leads to loss. The further we dive into this dissonance, the more we're going to lose, always. Because even if you gain a little money, you have lost a part of yourself. And I got to tell you, from a person that's been bankrupt twice and lost everything to a person that has money now, what I know is I don't want the money unless I feel good. Right? Like, I want to feel good about how I made it, what I did, the decisions I made. Because you know what? I've had it. Yeah. That's the truth. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to be up on this podium, they're going to go, she's a success, and you're going to be like, do you know what I did? You're going to be dealing with all of that, and then you're going to have to spend the rest of your life trying to make up for it. So I wish I would have known that earlier. I would have done 3/4 of the shit I did. But resonance is, like, it's fun. You're alive. What if I felt that? Like, ooh, I feel scared. Competition's coming. And I'd be like, what can we do other than an auto unit? Can we get this done in time? Okay, fine. It's out a year. We don't need to get done in 6 months. I would have made completely different decisions if I was operating from my full body. When you're operating from your mind only, you are only operating from a percent of what's possible within you. And I want access to all of this. Okay? That's resonance and dissonance. So, let's go back. Here's another preacher moment. So if you have something in your life, if you have a company that doesn't turn you on, if you're in a company that doesn't turn you on, if you're in a position that doesn't turn you on, if you're in a relationship that doesn't turn you on, then you need to run like hell. Do you hear me? Like, you need to run. You need to go, I got to get out of here. What are you going to do? I don't know, but this uncomfortable feeling, I know the other side of that is a butterfly. But what I know is that right now, I cannot stay here. I get teary thinking those moments of having conversations with people. Like, I just can't do it. And if we embrace those uncomfortable moments and told the truth, like, this doesn't feel good, what are our other options? And we got rid of if you just focus, don't worry about resonance, focus on dissonance. What is not working? Remove that. That's automatically going to give you more life force energy, your company, your whole company. You're not serving your company by sitting yourself in the seat, being disgruntled and hating it. You are hurting them. They are less with you. You are less with them than you were even before you sat yourself in that seat. And most people aren't brave enough to have that conversation. So if you're not happy, just don't do it. Okay, there you go. Is this my last one? I don't even know. Anyway. You're like, good Lord, we're trapped. Okay. Suzy's got 20 minutes with us. Okay, so business can be a catalyst for your personal growth. I did not realize this early on. I was committed to my personal growth because I knew what it was like making money before. So I had the luxury, I say, of losing everything. And I knew what I didn't want to do, and I still got caught up in the traps of doing a lot of it. But what I didn't know, that is, if you're willing to see every business situation as a growth opportunity for yourself, that not only will your business grow, but you will grow internally, and you will be more within this relationship of your business than you were before it, right? Yeah. So I'll give you an example. I went through 4 COOs, and I was like, can I just not hire? Like, I must not be a smart person. Like, what am I doing? What's going on here? Why do I keep hiring these people? And what I did is I went into EMDR therapy, and I started realizing, like, oh my God. My dad was a bipolar alcoholic. Yeah. My mom was addicted to pain pills. My first memory was cooking at 4 years old. I had a story where I can't be supported. So what am I going to do when I'm hiring? What glasses am I looking through? I'm looking through that story Oh, you're perfect. You're not going to support me. You're going to screw me over. This is good. That's going to work out, right? And most people tell you those stories. Do you know what they did to me, right? It's all valid. I had a couple criminals in there and people that stole money. Yeah, all those stories are true. But the truest story is, why the hell was I resonant with them in the first place? So that's the thing about resonance. I go, what in me vibrated that liked whatever you're serving up? Right? So I took back accountability, went through therapy. Now we have an amazing Boyd, is his name. Everybody say, yeah, we're Boyd. I have literally cried so much to Boyd for him reframing and restructuring what support looks like. That's a gift Boyd's giving me. So the resonance is, I didn't hire Boyd from those same glasses. I won't ever hire that again because I know what kind of support I deserve, right? So everything in me shifted. Do you see how this could be a business problem? I could have went up to Harvard and said, I need to learn how to interview better. And I could have went on a 6 months track and I maybe have hired better people, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in having a company, selling a shitload of product, making a shitload of money while I grow a shitload. Like all of it. I want it all. Right? Like I don't want to just make money. Like, come on. It's a waste of my time and energy. So if we can't grow as a person, like, don't do it. So anyway, yeah, so we've got coaches in. I say at Poopery that if you don't grow personally, if you only grow professionally, then we haven't done our job. Like, you really should walk out some sort of better person, even if you're triggered. And if you're triggered, go look at that shit. Because those triggers are telling you something. And dive into that. We're so focused on getting that. What I know is all of that is in here. That everything within here, if you go inside and you start removing all those stories and that stuff, like really, it's an inside-out job. That what happens is you actually don't just end up with a lot of money, you end up with the richest shit life. And there's a difference. You are energy rich, you are alive. People go, oh my God, you're so alive. You're just, I'm like, yeah. Because I'm working on my shit all the time. I'm making a lot of money. Life is great. I told my team, like, I don't know what to do on Instagram. Like, you could literally film every piece of my life. Even if I'm on the floor screaming, like birthing, like, oh, this is old, I remember the story. It's amazing stuff, right? It's like, how do you capture such an amazing life? I don't know. But that's what I want for you. I don't want you to just be financially successful. So all of you, if you're at your startup phase, what I want you to know is that you can have so much more than money. So much more. If you just go inside and realize that everything that you need is right here within you. You can stand on the stage, never talking about any of this stuff before. You can know in your heart that all you want to do is share because you've been down a road that maybe somebody else hasn't yet. And that you can live a richer than shit life. And your life will be alive as shit. And that's no shit. Seriously. You can receive you now.